In this WrestleTalk news, Drew McIntyre potentially leaving WWE soon, news on some last-minute changes to WrestleMania, and Tempest review of Smackdown. Subscribe and enable notification to always on for daily wrestling news videos.
Support WrestleTalk!
It's WrestleMania Saturday! Let's freaking go! Among the slew of anticipated matches on WrestleMania card is the sure-to-be extremely sore triple threat intercontinental title match between Gunther, Sheamus, and Drew McIntyre, which I think is not too controversial to say could 100% be the match of the weekend. While Gunther seems to have an extremely bright WWE future and Sheamus' WWE Achievement Bingo card is almost completely full, Drew McIntyre may shockingly find this year's WrestleMania to be his last in the company? Yes, in news that has come out more out of nowhere than a claymore to the chin, PW Insider Elite is reporting via WrestlingNews.co that the two-time WWE champion is nearing the end of his WWE contract. However, the kicker is that both Drew and WWE aren't even close to agreeing terms on a new deal. While the report notes that McIntyre's deal is not up imminently, it is in its final year, leaving WWE on the clock to agreeing new terms with the Scottish Warrior. If McIntyre did end up exiting the company, he would undoubtedly have a lot of suitors. So where would you want to see him next? Let us know in the comments below. While this could be McIntyre's last WrestleMania, how about a potential first for the show of shows? While the Wrestling Observer newsletter was reporting last month that WWE was leaning towards Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte Flair closing out night one of Mania. This has always been a point of contention, specifically among fans. While the SmackDown Women's title match on paper makes for a good choice, the build has been just pretty darn lackluster. Tempest, you say it best.
Nothing to it, sir!
Exactly! On the other hand, the undisputed tag team match between the Usos, Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens had maybe the best build of any storyline on the entire card. So yeah, it seems like a no-brainer, no? Well, Rhea vs. Charlotte seemed likely to close the show as of Friday. They had not been told they would get in the slot according to Fightful Select. While talent not being told their placement on the card is not a new thing, what is more interesting is that Fightful is also reporting that those in the tag title match were told to prepare for that slot. While Fightful's WWE sources states that WWE have over the last few weeks operated on the assumption that the tag team match would main event, it seems, again, the talent haven't been assured on this. As Sami told BT Sports' Ariel Helwani that them main event in Mania remains to be seen. Sami would also point out to Helwani that if they do get the nod, it would mark the first time since WrestleMania 1 that a tag match closed the show. Again, according to Fightful, the reasoning behind Charlotte vs. Rhea potentially closing the show over KO, Sami, and the Usos is largely due to last year's night one of Mania also not seeing a women's match closing the show. It's something about that Kevin Owens, always blocking women's chances. Jokes. While the political side of things places the decision into doubt, Fightful notes that almost everyone they spoke to within WWE believed the tag title match would and should close night one. It was also noted in the reports that the tag titles had never closed WrestleMania before. Also, there has never been a Syrian descent in that spot before either. So perhaps this could further influence WWE's decision. They do love their first ever, don't they? The final decision will reportedly be made on Saturday morning's pre-Mania production meeting. So we may have to simply wait till tonight to find out who's main eventing WrestleMania. That's right, there's a ton of news today, including updates on Randy Orton's health, Naomi to AEW, and of course, plenty of news on good old CM Punk and Vince McMahon. So please check out WrestleTalk.com for more. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for me to call my tag team partner, the handsome masked man himself, Tempest. Get over here, baby. It's time for the nice, tepid, warm pinky. Come on, give me the pinky.
What the f*** is that?
We do it every week, guys, you know, the warm pinky. Everyone loves the warm pinky on the YouTube comment section. yeah, nice and warm. Editor, you know what to do? The camera goes dark and I disappear, I run off. The lights go on and Tempest is like, where is he? Where is he? WrestleMania, baby, woo!
I'm Tempest, and this is my review of WrestleMania Smackdown in about 5 minutes. We kick off our show with a promo duel between the Usos and Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Immediately, this is the type of energy I wish they'd been able to keep up for the last few weeks because this was heated and emotional. KO said that the Usos were the ones that made him feel welcome in WWE, the ones that played with his kid backstage, and now he feels conflicted about what he has to do, but at the Rumble, they tried to take his livelihood from him, and now he and the Usos know that he and Sami are taking the tag titles at WrestleMania. Jimmy says that the only ones that are conflicted are Kevin and Sami. He says that he and Jay is what real brotherhood looks like and what KO and Sami wish they had. Sami cuts him off and says blood isn't the only thing that makes you family, that loyalty makes you family too. This gets Jay to step in and ask Sami what he knows about loyalty. And Sami says he was loyal to the bloodline the whole time, but the Usos chose blood over loyalty when they sided with Roman Reigns even though Roman had never been loyal to them. Sami says the pressure of the bloodline rests with them, but at WrestleMania, he and Kevin are gonna take that pressure and their tag titles from them. Jay says that ain't it, and that at Mania, it will be the same old story. Kevin will stab Sami in the back, and they will still be your longest reigning tag team champions. This was very, very solid stuff. A great way to sum up the last several months and how all of these characters are feeling now with heavy emphasis on Jey Uso and his internal conflict. A great segment for a great go-home show. 5 out of 5.
Wait.
What?
You're not wearing black. Where is your black?
April Fool's, sir! There's no House of the Black Mask today. Get out of here. April Fools. April Fools.
That ain't fair.
We then had a fatal four-way match with one member of each of the showcase teams as Montez Ford, Ricochet, Chad Gable, and Eric represented their respective teams. Man's ring name is really just Eric. I'll never get over that. This was the workhorse match with each man getting a chance to have control. Understandably, the babyfaces paired off with the heels, with Gable and Eric having a few moments of throwing Ricochet and Ford around and staring each other down. The action in this one was top-notch, with Ford finally getting to hit his huge frog splash, followed by Ricochet hitting his shooting star press for the pin while Ford sold the impact. This was really solid stuff and the kind of match that gets me well excited for the four-way tag we'll get tonight. 4 out of 5. We then had the Andre the Giant Battle Memorial Battle Royal, where the only two men to get entrances were Bobby Lashley and Braun Strowman. Why are you here, Braun? Your name wasn't on the cast list on Raw. You can't just show up here. Michael Cole was asked who's gonna win, and he said Top Dollar because Top Dollar can't go over the top rope. Michael Cole is the biggest hater, bro. Don't kill me. It's ridiculous. Baron Corbin was eliminated in second, so his downward spiral continues. Dexter Lumis was stood unmoving in the corner. Michael Cole said many a career had taken off after winning this battle royal. Name one. The field began to thin out as Karrion Kross eliminated Ali, and Michael Cole had no idea who he was. Johnny Gargano was able to wrestle Pete Dunne briefly before being eliminated. LA Knight was by far the most popular man in the match, and the crowd booed loudly when Bronson Reed eliminated him, leaving just Reed, Strowman, and Lashley as the final three. Reed eliminated Strowman, and Lashley eliminated Reed to win the match in one of the more predictable outcomes of the weekend, but in this case, predictable doesn't mean bad, as Lashley was probably the best choice. 3 out of 5. We then got a second fatal four-way match, this time with the women representing their teams for the showcase match, as Raquel Rodriguez, Shayna Baszler, Natalya, and Sonya Deville all competed. This match was short and not terribly heated, unfortunately. Raquel managed to get Shayna and Natalya on her shoulders at the same time in the coolest spot of the match before Sonya took out her knees, but Sonya came off the ropes and Raquel was able to catch her and hit her finish for the win. Again, not much to this one, 2 out of 5. Rey Mysterio is getting prepared backstage, and he is approached by Legado del Fantasma, who tell him that they have his back just like they did on Raw. Ray says that if that's the case, then they have to do it in style, and he handed out shirts to everyone and revealed that they are the new Latino World Order.
Yeah, raza.
My man knows. This was really cool and got a big pop from the crowd. A thumbs up this was. The former friends, formerly known as the Banger Bros, then took on Ludwig Kaiser and Giovanni Vinci of Imperium. The story of this match was that Drew and Sheamus couldn't get on the same page as they were constantly blind tagging themselves in, which eventually led to a shoving match between them. This allowed Imperium to take control, although it wouldn't be for long as Sheamus hit Vinci with a knee strike and a brogue kick, and Drew McIntyre hit Kaiser with a Claymore as Sheamus got the pin. Another neat and tidy little match that helped grow the drama between the victors ahead of Sunday's undoubtedly excellent triple threat match. 3 out of 5. Cody Rhodes then came out for his main event promo. He says he has done all the preparation ahead of WrestleMania, that he thanks the WWE fans for welcoming him back and thanks them for allowing him to bring his fans with him. He does a whole verse of Tupac's California Love, which was certainly a choice, and then he says that while Roman Reigns told him that he couldn't be the top guy in his own company, Roman was an 11-year investment that didn't even pay off until year 8. Shootin' cowboy, pew 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 pew. Roman Reigns then interrupts him and makes his extremely long entrance and says that at WrestleMania, Cody Rhodes will be forced to acknowledge him as the show goes off the air. We didn't get anything from Roman here, which was a bit disappointing considering this was the go-home angle for WrestleMania, but Cody did a good promo, so it definitely could be worse. 4 out of 5. Overall, this was a good go-home show for WrestleMania. Never did it feel like time was being wasted, and everything set something up for Mania, which is all you can ask for, really. This show gets a 4 out of 5. That just about wraps things up for me, but before I go, of course, make sure you check out our live reactions on the WrestleTalk podcast channel tonight for night 1 of WrestleMania, but also make sure you go over to Parts Unknown to see Adam's latest fantasy booking video as he gives his take on Big E as WWE Champion. And April Fools, we have a new special episode of Survival Series today for all you lovely lads and lasses, so make sure you go and show that show plenty of support. Until next time, I've been Tempest, and that was WrestleMania Smackdown, baby! Woo! Woo!
Elias had it. He seems like the sort of loser that might have done.
Hello and welcome back to a special edition of Parts Unknown Survival Series, the cheeriest wrestling show on YouTube, with our always the bridesmaid, never the bride, Pete Quinnell.
Furious.